Are we buying Gavin Newsom's new accent and backstory? Short answer is no. No, anyone that even do a little bit of Google searching knows that Gavin Newsom comes from money, and now all of a sudden he's pretending like he was some poor white kid. They literally got stories of him as a teenager calling him, talking about rich families and stuff like that. And he's pretending like he came up struggling. This is ridiculous. He's so fake, so inauthentic, but the thing is he's really good at selling it though. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to play the clip. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. There's a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account. So follow me there as well. All right. So let's get into this news. Now, this comes from Outkick. And they report that looks like California Governor Gavin Newsom is taking a page out of President Donald Trump's book and hitting the podcast circuit in preparation for his inevitable 2028 presidential run. It's nice to see Democrats following in Kamala Harris's footsteps in 2024 when it comes to accepting podcast invites, but they didn't correct her other mistake of code switching with different media members as Newsom busted out his best attempt at a black scent while chopping it up with former NBA role players Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson on their All the Smoke podcast, which is surprising. Well, not really surprising. We all know that Matt Barnes and Jackson are two leftists. They believe in the Democrat nonsense. But Right Angle News Network, they posted conservatives are ruthlessly mocking Gavin Newsom after he debuted a new accent and a fabricated backstory claiming he was so poor while growing up that he had to eat bread and mac and cheese just to pay the bills. And they didn't check him on this. I mean, they're from California. They live in California. They have to know that Gavin Newsom comes from money and was pretending to be some poor kid. And they didn't even check him on it. But let's play the clip. Here we go.
But also, it was also about paying the bills, man. And it was just like hustling. Mm-hmm. And so I was out there kind of raising myself, turning on the TV, started, just getting obsessed, sitting there with the Wonder Bread and 5 stacks of,
it's like the White Stack 5 story.
Come on. Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah. Man, bro. Are you talking about me?
Young YG.
YG,
but
man.
Every day in the backyard, just bouncing the basketball, throwing the ball against the wall until the ball is just like fraying, man. And your arms fall off. That's it. Whole thing. So and then, then this student that was shitty student is in the back with his head down, all of a sudden started throwing the baseball a little faster than everyone else. And started, make a few free throws because I was sitting there practicing 500 of them every damn night. And in high school, I look up in the stands, my dad's back up there.
Okay, dope.
And it's like, man. And then he's bringing his friends, and you're captain of the team, and you're like, geez, and it just saved me, and it got me into college.
Wow. Pretending like he's some poor kid. This is despicable. Oh, Gavin, your childhood sounds so hard. I was half expecting him to start I was born a poor black child monologue, a la Steve Martin in The Jerk. That's an old school reference. Kids won't even get that reference there. But Newsom naturally got eviscerated in the comments section as everyone instantly saw through his not so clever ruse of relating to the lower middle class. And Don't Call Me Shirley said, just a few months ago, the Democrats were using their hero, wealthy teenage snob Gavin Newsom, to mock J.D. Vance. Now they're pretending Newsom grew up in the sticks and had to eat sticks because he was so poor. And here's the picture of him right here. Gavin Newsom versus J.D. Vance. They showing the high school pictures here. Obviously, this dude, look at his outfit here. He doesn't look like he's struggling right here. Right? Oh man. Breaking right conservatives ruthlessly mock Gavin Newsom after he debuted a new accent and fabricated backstory claiming he was so poor while growing up that he had to eat bread and mac and cheese just to pay the bills. And you got this picture here. Look at this story here. Gavin Newsom with Paul Mohane, Andrew Getty, and Billy Getty posing for Children's of the Rich feature that ran in the San Francisco Chronicle on December 12, 1991. Look at this dude. Literally featured Children of the Rich, and he's pretending like he grew up poor. Like, it's all performance art. That's what Democrats are. It's all performance art. David Steele said he played street basketball on the rough streets of Marion County. That's where rich folk live. Maybe Newsom confused his hard knock life with being in a gang for his supporting role in his high school's production of West Side Story. You can't make this stuff up. In keeping with the theme of Democrats being incredibly out of touch with young men, what's up, Tim Waltz? Newsom describing his athletic background as a kid is laughable. He said, bouncing the ball up and down and throwing the ball against the wall is right up there with running the pick six play. All of that is funny, sure, but the biggest clowns in all of this are Barnes and Jackson. That's what I was just alluding to. They didn't even check them on any of this stuff. These guys act so tough all the time, but when a buttoned up white dude like Newsom starts faking their accent and talks about how he's just like them, they completely let it slide and even encourage his behavior. That's because he's a Democrat. They're Democrat lackeys. This is stuff that people have been calling Matt Barnes and them out and Steven Jackson out for years on this crap. They're Democrat bootlickers. But I guess that's all par for the course with the Democrat Party. I can't wait to see Newsom's 2028 run for president, because if this podcast appearance is any indicator, it will be appointment television moving forward. And best believe I'm going to be watching it and commenting on it. But y'all let me know what y'all think about all this. Leave our comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.